Yeah.
So Celtics win last night in a game that they did not play their best, but they were carried by their two biggest stars. They were carried by Tatum and Brown. Whose game was it? Was this the Tatum game that we were looking for, or was this the Jaylen Brown game last night?
Well,
who do you want to give it to?
To me, it felt like it was like 75% going to Tatum, and then at the end it became Brown. It was both of them. Like, really. Like, Tatum needed that type of night, to finally get over the 30 mark there for the people that love the scoring. But, yeah, I thought he was authoritative at the end with that dunk. With that, like, more of that. Want to see more of that stuff. And Brown's one-hander down the middle. Oh, my God. Like, that was emphatic. I think it was both of them. And it's like what we talked about yesterday without Porzingis. Without having Porzingis, man, stage is theirs. Someone had to elevate. And, Tim, you said it was going to be Tatum. Sort of force it, become that guy last night, have that marquee game. And it was going to be his, and it felt like Brown took it at the end. That's all. I think it was both of them. I do.
That was my big takeaway. Like, I just thought that was the performance you were waiting for if you were a Celtics fan. And look, we knew they were going to win the championship, but to me that kind of encapsulated, hey, it's their time. Because both of those guys stepped up in that game in crucial spots. In the first quarter, when they got punched in the mouth by the Mavericks, Jayson Tatum stepped up, carried you offensively. And then in the second half, I thought Jaylen Brown was unbelievable.
Brown's a closer.
If it's a Tatum or Brown game,
yeah.
that was Jaylen Brown's game.
And it's like Brown's the closer, it feels like. Like, and that's the moment for him. And just, not having Porzingis again. That's the Tatum That's the Tatum he had all year. And I know they were, 30? Are they like 31-5 without Porzingis when he didn't play this year? Like, so you still can win without him. We didn't doubt that. I think they still got the series without Porzingis.
So if you go back to game one of the Eastern Conference Finals, Brown was able to get them to the overtime with his clutch play to allow Tatum to take over and close.
Yep.
And I don't remember you guys giving Tatum all the credit for the closing in that game. So I'm just curious why we're going to give all the credit to Brown.
Felt like you were lucky
for
to be
closing
there
in this game.
Well, because
you should have lost that.
You needed Jaylen Brown for that opportunity.
The same way Jaylen Brown needed Jayson Tatum last night for that opportunity.
Come on, we're not doing this.
Is that not the same sort of thing?
Yeah, it is, technically, but...
No. No, it's not. It's not. Bonus time.
It's the end of that regulation.
48 minutes. So, just so you know, so I'm just trying to get the parameters of this.
At the end of regulation, your top five player was not living up to the billing.
This guy closed it out. It was the thing that put them over the top of the end. Well, that's what Tatum did in game one of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Pacers. That's what Tatum did, but he got nothing for it. Right? So here I am whining again about a lack of credit to Tatum.
Classic Tatum fan.
I am. I'm classic Tatum. It's fine. But I will give Brown all the credit in the world for being the closer last night. Clutch as hell.
Yeah.
Made the shots, and I would say the shot of the night, with it being as close as a 2-point game as the Celtics gave you a heart attack in this game, and the way this series looked shifted in a major way because of the Celtics' ability and Jaylen Brown's ability to put it away at 100 to, 198? Was that the score at the time? I double-checked my box score here.
Yeah, it was a 2-point game when he hit that.
Yeah, with a minute to go, 1:01 on the clock. Jaylen Brown, 20-foot pull-up jump shot, good. Makes it 102.98, and that's when you knew, okay, that they're not going to they're not letting go here. They're going to hang on, and that was the shot of the game. Was Jaylen Brown from 20 feet.
And that's really the true story of this team. Like, what's different from 2 years ago, what's different from a year ago is those type of games right there. They let one or two of those slide. Like, they don't let them. As good as the run was at the end.
It was like when they let go of a game in the finals 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Against Golden State, they had a game like this.
Yep. No, they're different. It's different now. It is. I think the big two got the confidence to do it. Like, neither guy's passing that shot up. They're not.
I mean, Derek White even talked about that post game. He said, I'm not sure if we win that game a couple of years ago or even last year. Like, there's growth from both of those guys.
Right. I mean, that's the doubt, and they lived it. Those are the guys that lived it. Drew Holiday's new. Porzingis is new. So those are the new additions that really can't talk about what it was like here prior. They're different. They're closers now. One away.
They are one away. It feels more inevitable than it has at any point.
Where do you want them to win it?
Through two games, it felt like this thing was over. Last night had to be a win for Dallas for them to at all be competitive, and I think last night was the game they had to win for them to have a chance to win games, period, in this series. I want this thing over tomorrow night.
You do?
Yeah. Parade on Monday. Let's go.
Okay. I'd love for it to close at home. There's just something about,
Nope.
I don't know, about
To
in front
see
of
them
your
lose the
fans.
game to these bums,
I get it.
I've never been less impressed with Dallas than I am now.
Team that can't play defense. Luka bitching about the refs. Kyrie finally gets 35, and it's not enough. And their big two were more than your big two combined from a scoring standpoint. Big thing is the other two here play defense, and that's the difference. Luka plays no defense.
I will give Dallas credit for fighting in the second half because if I were Dallas, I would have felt defeated at halftime.
Oh, they felt cooked at the end, especially at the end of the third.
But at halftime, to go in with it being a 1-point game,
Yeah.
and to have had Sam Hauser come out and torch you
he was huge.
in the
That was
first
huge.
half.
That was
the
huge.
minutes he gave the Celtics last night were great again. He's had 2 really clutch performances in this series and has given some real quality minutes in multiple games already. To go to the locker room with it being a 1-point game at halftime, that should have felt like you had already lost.
It was the same thing as the first quarter in game 2, right? When you looked up and the Celtics couldn't buy a 3 until that final one, and you're looking at it and saying, all right, we're only up 4 here, I think it was. Like, you're in trouble. And to have that performance from Kyrie in the first half, like you mentioned, and to only be up 1, yeah, that spelled trouble. And I thought Luka and the bitching, and you talked about this going into the series, that's 6 foul. Like, what are you even bitching about, dude? How do you put yourself in that position to foul out in the first place? But what are you complaining about? That was clear as day. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable performance by him.
It's like he just didn't want the fouls called on him because he's the most important player and you got to leave him in the game.
Yep.
That's I think his argument there. You're going to remove me from the game? That's not fair.
By the way,
I think that had to be his argument.
In the back of my mind, I thought he was going to win that argument. Like, coming back from the challenge, I was like, is the NBA just going to step in and say, you know what? No, we're going to keep Luka in this game? But no, that was a clear block. You're not going to overturn that call.
And they didn't, and he was out, and he was cooked. And the Dallas Mavericks are cooked, and they look like they don't belong. And the Celtics, I want them to sweep and stomp these guys out in 4 games. That's what I want. I want them to finish the playoffs 16-2. And on a big, long winning streak to extinguish the Mavs and be done and move on to the offseason and to the Olympics and to the parades and everything else. That's what it's time. It's time. They've won this thing.
Yeah.
We'll soon be champions again in Boston. That's what's going on with the Celtics. It was an entertaining game.
It was awesome.
Last night's game was such a great watch. Right out of the gate. The first half, you're like, this is the most entertaining first half of basketball we've seen in a while. It wasn't clean. It was certainly sloppy. It was definitely an up and down and roller coaster. But, man, was that game last night an entertaining game. And the Celtics are up 3-0. And it's over. Sweep them. Finish them off tomorrow night. If you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand here. For more Celtics analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.